What's up, everyone? My name is Rad, and I'm here today bringing you my overall thoughts on the state of Counterside 30 days later after its SCA release. I'll just have some regular gameplay over my commentary, so nothing too crazy for today. I'll be going a little over of everything, so timestamps will be down below in the description if you are interested in a certain section. Without further ado, like always, let's drop that transition. So, I'm going to start off with the story, but not all of the episodes though. I will be going over episode 5 specifically since that was the most recent one added, and I already covered episodes 1 through 4 in my counter side review. Quick note, this section is spoiler free, so you don't have to worry about any spoilers. So I gotta be honest, chapter 5 was one heck of a chapter, building upon what chapter 4 concluded on and providing so many twists and turns on top of the climactic reviews. Definitely for me has made it one of the best stories I've come across in a mobile game title. It had substance, the pacing was great, the dialogue was awesome, but I think most importantly, it really built an emotional connection with me. Learning about a character's past to witnessing a character's actions on the spot to seeing the fate of certain characters. Episode 5 really went in on this, I have to say. I will say that it definitely connected and tied some loose ends, but it definitely answered more questions as opposed to leaving me with more questions, if that makes any sense and if I worded that correctly. But what I will end off with is that I am excited for the future of episodes to come out. I'll briefly go over some characters that have since been released post SEA launch. They are Jushi Young, Karen Wong, Li Yumi, Hang So Young, Einzen Zwei, Rosaria Lefrida, Awakened Li Jisoo, and Awakened Hilda. I will say that each character is unique in their own way, and I like how they play off each other's personality. It makes the chemistry between certain characters a real joy to see, especially during the story or events. In terms of characters' powers, they are all usable in all content, I would say, though some do excel a bit more than others. Li Yumi, Einzen Zwei, and Rosaria specifically. But in all in all, they've done a great job with each character release. And oh yeah, big 2 thumbs up for providing them through separate banners and letting us choose which one we want specifically to roll for. I think that's great for the community because that way it doesn't put any pressure, let's say, to having to roll for one character, hit pity at 150 for that first character, and then potentially hit pity another 150 pity for that second character. So like I said, big ups to Zelon Game for doing that. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Now for events. So I covered the Crossroad event when it came out. Ever since though, they've been incredibly late with it. We've only gotten the Einzen Zwei story, the one short chapter of Awaken Hilda, and the bingo event to obtain Li Jisoo. I did predict that the events after Crossroad wouldn't be as big as Crossroad was, so I'm not shocked that they've been on the lighter side. Though moving forward, I do expect the events to ramp up. The Einzen Zwei story was short but great. The backstory was well thought out, and like how I mentioned in my story section from my review, they definitely built an emotional connection between one like us and the twins. Plus, I keep saying this, they are just freaking adorable. The chapter of Awaken Hilda was a bit underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, only because you do the same chapter at some point during chapter 5. I assume though that they specifically put that out because some people are probably not as high leveled as others who have been playing since release. So I commend them for giving others access to something they might not have. Now, albeit a small teaser, the Li Jisoo event is alright. You are able to obtain a awakened hero for free, and it doesn't require an incredible amount of effort. I would say, personally, I would have liked more in terms of adding an episode chapters just to learn more a little bit about Li Jisoo's backstory, who she is, what she's done, why, maybe to learn about how she, grouped up with Na Yubin, yada yada yada, you know what I mean? But I really, like I said, I really can't complain. All in all, I think the events so far have been solid. I'm still very excited to see what they come out with in the future. As for replayability, I will say that it is there, but it all depends, like I said in my review of Counterside, who you are as a gamer. If you put lots of hours daily or weekly into Counterside, you'll eventually just plateau and hit a peak. There won't be much to grind out besides getting units to higher levels or farming gear sets for them, or just pre-farming materials for the future. If you more so play it casually and log in here and there and go at a more natural pace, then definitely the replayability is there because you'll be prolonging all that content. While yes, you might lag behind others, don't let that deter you. It's all about going at your pace, having fun your way, and that's it. It's about enjoying the experience. So yeah, I'll keep this section nice, short, and sweet. Now, I think the pacing is quite in a peculiar position at the moment. I believe at the time of the SCA release, Counterside in Korea had been out for about a year and a half. I'm not too sure, or how do I say this? I don't quite remember, but I believe that's what the case was. Now, I knew from the start that their main objective was to try to catch the SCA server up to where the KR server is currently. Though I would say that there are pros and cons to how they have been approaching it. I'll start off with the pros. I think the accelerated pace is good in terms of providing us fresh, new, consistent content, introducing new characters, episodes, events, etc. There's much less downtime in between content updates. Also, with this structure, you are able to retain player base attention much easier since new things are coming out quicker and consistently. Now the cons, basically with everything I said above. Now I know, rad. How does that even make any sense, dude? Well, let me try to explain. With the accelerated pace of the current schedule and all this new content coming out quickly and consistently, there are some in the player base that won't be able to put in the time to grind out every single version update. A la insert your casual versus hardcore debate here. I'm not going to get into that. Personally, nowadays, I don't make any game my main game, so it's not a big issue for me per se. But I can definitely understand those players, especially free-to-plays, that want to be able to obtain certain characters or event rewards every single version update, but don't have the time, let's say, to do it because of in real life things. Family, business, jobs, whatever the case may be. It really adds a bit of pressure and potentially installs FOMO or fear of missing out to some of the player base. Also, apologies, I have people driving quad bikes outside my house. It's a long story. Also, since there is much less downtime between content updates, that also makes it hard for some of the player base to consistently level up units. Quick example, I have basically 2, almost 3 teams all at level 100, while others might just be working on the first team of all level 100s. Now, I have been playing since release. I've been putting in a good amount of hours every single day for the past month. I know others that have done the same thing, but they've put in less hours, because of work, like I said earlier, work, kids, business, jobs, whatever the case may be. The main thing is, though, the accelerated schedule benefits those who spend on the game more than those who don't. Now, I know that is subjective, but now that is just my opinion. I'm not saying that's how it is in the grand scheme of things. That's just how I feel about it. I know that if I want to buy quartz or admin coins in order to roll, I am able to. But I also know that others are not in the same situation or position that I am in to be able to do that. And then it becomes more of a pick your poison. Do you skip this banner even though you really like that character? Or do you spend money even though you really know financially it's something you shouldn't be doing? Or let's say you just can't afford at said time. There is a lot of variables that go into this. Don't get me wrong. I'm just giving examples and trying to be as unbiased and open as possible to everything available. Basically, what I'm saying is that while the pacing of the accelerated schedule might not affect me, I'm not blind to those that it does. At the end of the day, I always say, play the game at your place, how you want, when you want. Most importantly, it's about having fun and having a great experience. So yeah, those are my thoughts and opinions. I didn't want to make this too long, so hopefully I articulated everything as clearly as I could. Also, I wanted to be, as like I mentioned earlier, as open and unbiased as possible. I tried playing both sides, so devil's advocate, I would say. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate that. Also, rate me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you liked or disliked the content today. All constructive criticism is appreciated or welcomed. My name is Rad. You're all awesome. See you later.